get for trading that sonic screwdriver for the location of those berries. Oh, hello and welcome to Animated Revolution, where cartoons get put in their place. Because why not change the catchphrase? Anyway, let's talk about the phenomenon that is My Little Pony. Originally a line of little girl toys, My Little Pony was reincarnated 3 times, resulting in 4 generations, and eventually a show that got even boys into the idea. A fantastic little show called My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, which aired its 4th season finale, titled Twilight's Kingdom, this month. Warning to all bronies watching who haven't seen the season 4 finale. There will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet, I encourage you to stop this video now and go watch it before you continue. Although you probably should watch Rescue at Midnight Castle to appreciate what they did in that episode. Anyway, what are my thoughts on the episode? It was awesome! The story tied in well with what was going on throughout the rest of the season. It brought back a nostalgic character from the Gen 1 days of MLP and made him even cooler. The emotions that the characters emitted were real, the build-up was great, the action was fantastic, and it avoided the trap that Season 3's finale fell into. Or rather, traps. Many traps. And trust me, everyone, that episode's day on this show will come! And I will happily answer some questions that I predict the Brony community will ask me. Favorite characters, Spike, Luna, and Twilight. Favorite villain, T-Rex. Favorite episodes, A Canterlot Wedding, Three's a Crowd, Princess Twilight Sparkle, Power Ponies, Equestria Games, and Twilight's Kingdom. Favorite songs, Glass of Water, Yes I'm Serious, This Day Aria, Hearts as Strong as Forces, and Smile Song. Hooking episode, A Canterlot Wedding. And yes, I did see Winter Wrap-Up before that, and it did not hook me. How did I get into the show? My older brother wouldn't let me do my homework until I watched an episode with him.
Also, it is the fault of one particular fanfiction that I can never look at cupcakes the same way again. So yeah, thanks for that.
Well, okay then. But before the concept of baby horse girl toys was turned into one of the best cartoon shows ever, Hasbro decided that a good way to sell the little girl toys was to make a cartoon about ponies saving their friends from a real bad guy, which resulted in a 1980s TV show. And I'm here to review that special. So, without further ado, let's dive right into My Little Pony Rescue at Midnight Castle. So we begin in a land where everyone is so happy you tend to wonder if they're on some form of LSD trip. And by the way, if there are any thoughts that the theme song from Friendship is Magic is annoying, the theme song for the show was much more annoying in the 80s.
My little pony, isn't the world a lovely place?
So we see characters like Twilight, Applejack, this pony, and that pony, and I think that's Rarity, they never say her name, Ember, and Firefly, who is pretty much Rainbow Dash before she was Rainbow Dash. And then hot! They're horses! Then we see Twilight with Ember, who spends her time hoping to do things that are physically impossible for her because she's an Earth pony. Yeah, sure, kid. And I wanted to grow up to shoot webs out of my wrists.
You'll grow up to be your own special little pony.
But for right now, run from the impending danger out of nowhere! A bunch of dragon-like creatures led by the missing gargoyle Scorpion kidnap 2 ponies and take them off to Midnight Castle. Then Firefly flies off to get some help. However, since this is marketed towards little girls, we will not see her call upon the A-Team. Meanwhile, back at Midnight Castle, we see Scorpion with his little buddy Gen 1 Spike.
Listen, Scorpion, can I go with you next time, huh? Can I?
And if there was any thought that Spike in Gen 4 is annoying, which he isn't, I think the writers just don't know what to do with him. Gen 1 Spike was much more annoying.
I can slither really fast, Scorpion, really fast.
Not now, Spike. Not now.
Then we meet the villain of this piece, T-Rex.
We have captured 2
Yes,
of the
if you were wondering how Friendship is Magic could create such a badass villain as T-Rex, this is where they got him. And he's still pretty badass. Just listen to him.
2 ponies, you say? Only 2?
Yes, Master.
But I need 4 ponies for my chariot. Not 2, not 3, 4.
Oh my gosh. His voice is almost as threatening as any Tim Curry villain role.
My friend.
We find out that T-Rex, who you'd think was the true identity of Dr. Claw the way he's kept in the shadows except for his hand, is kidnapping Little Pony to carry his chariot. One wonders why he doesn't just use 4 of his dragons that he has lying around, but what you gonna do? So then the narrator for Transformers, T-Rex, ex-voice actor really did do the narration for Transformers by the way, tells Scorpion to go and kidnap 2 more ponies before we cut to what Firefly calls finding help, as we see her coming into contact with a human girl named Megan, who was taking the whole seeing a talking Pegasus thing pretty well. I should be freaking out more than this, possibly even running into my room and cowering in a corner for the rest of my life as the madness of what I've just seen consumes me. But I was diagnosed with Miyazaki's disease during my 5th birthday.
Me? What can I do? You're strong. No, I'm not. You can fight. No, I can't. And you can fly. I said I can
No,
fly.
I'm with Megan. Why are you choosing her to help? She's already stated that she's not strong and she has no combat experience. I don't think she's the best choice to help you fight off an entire army of dragons. They'll be so happy I brought back someone who can't help us in any way whatsoever instead of, you know, someone who can actually help! Like the Transformers. Come on, Hasbro. You know you want to exploit both of these franchises as much as corporately possible. Why else would you have a sequel for Equestria Girls in the works and allow Michael Bay to keep making Transformers movies? Make it happen! So after that music number, Firefly and Megan arrive at the pony's life-size Barbie castle, and Firefly introduces Megan to everyone.
This is Megan, everybody. She's here to help us.
How is she going to help us? But no time to celebrate the arrival of their non-savior, Scorpion and his Dragon Squad. There is no way to make that sound not awesome. Kidnap 2 other little ponies. Never mind. One of them being Ember. One of the dragons nearly kills Megan, but Scorpion saves her because I guess he needed that good deed of the day. And thus proves that Megan is so useless that she needs the bad guys' help to stay alive.
Now, come on. We'll save our friends.
You mean her friends. You have not known them long enough to establish a relationship with any of them. So then, back at every evil castle ever, T-Rex steps out of the shadows, revealing himself as a centaur, and turns the ponies, except for Ember because she's too small, into dragon-like creatures to pull his chariot of midnight via his darkness in a bag. A little girl's cartoon, everyone.
Then, if by midnight I do not have a 4th pony, a head will roll. His.
Meanwhile, Applejack falls off a rope bridge and Megan jumps in after her, and they both drown. Still a great choice, Firefly. Ah! Then they're saved by singing seahorses. I would like to assure you all that you are not high. You are actually seeing this. Even the characters don't know what's going on. I am now convinced that this entire adventure is just part of Megan's LSD trip. The sea ponies give them a shell to contact them again, which convinces me that Megan is only included because she has fingers and pockets. Then they meet some wizard guy called the Moochick, who I could swear is the gnome cousin of the Sultan from Aladdin.
Is T-Rex going to force your friends to bring in the night that never ends?
How do you know that? No, wait, better question. Why haven't you done anything about it? He's supposed to be this powerful wizard or something, and yet he hasn't done anything to try to stop T-Rex? Were you just waiting for a bunch of horses and a useless girl to come along and stop him for you? He basically serves as an exposition dump and reveals that T-Rex plans to use his Rainbow of Darkness. Something about what I just said, it seems awesome and relatively stupid at the same time. To bring in eternal night. And that is a bad thing, which according to science would mean the death of all life on Earth. And the only thing that can stop him is a rainbow of light. So then we have a third song that only serves to make this special longer, and I'll admit for some good humor. Before the Moochick's pet rabbit, it reveals that it was in his pants the whole time. I mean, wow, I shouldn't have said it like that.
But it's so small.
And red. Where are the rest of the colors? Then the main characters arrive at Midnight Castle, and the walking, or swimming, LSD trips arrive to help them across the river.
We tried, Master, but
Then try again. If by midnight my chariot does not roll, the head of your little friend will, well... Ah, excellent. But as for you, Scorpan, Scorpan!
So Scorpan is Batman. Didn't call that one. Then Scorpan liberates Spike and Ember, while Applejack gets captured and then turned into one of the dragon things that T-Rex didn't really need to kidnap ponies to make. Then Scorpan saves the others just as T-Rex rides off on his chariot of midnight. It's two.
Rainbow of darkness that darkness sends, now begin the night that never ends!
Yeah, that. Then Megan flies up there with the Firefly and backhands the rainbow out of T-Rex's hand. Not sure how that worked since his hand is the size of her head. If only my grip didn't suck. And now it's time for a game of Keep Away, which according to Friendship is Magic, solves all of life's problems. Then T-Rex gets back his Rainbow of Darkness, and then Megan unleashes their Rainbow of Light, which then consumes the Rainbow of Darkness, and this happens.
Taste the rainbow, motherfucker!
Then all of T-Rex's evil stuff turns into happy, sunshiny stuff. Even Scorpan turns back into a prince.
T-Rex turned me into Scorpan when he took over my kingdom.
Okay.
Aren't you gonna change back to what you were?
Not me. I've always been a baby dragon.
And then they all lived LSD-ish ever after. The end. So that was Rescue at Midnight Castle. And I can see how the show was reincarnated 3 more times. I mean, sure, this was to sell toys to little girls, and the story itself was overall just okay, but I can see how this would have inspired Lauren Fausta to create the awesome 4th generation. And that include John freaking Delancey reprising his role as Q in the form of Discord. This special might have holes in its plot, and its animation is nothing special, even at the time when it was originally released. But if you just sit back and let the fact that it's about talking ponies take you, it's pretty enjoyable to watch, even if Megan serves no purpose whatsoever but to appeal further to little girls and carry that shell in her pocket. The story, okay. The concept, pretty cool. The animation, okay. The characters could have used some work, but at least Scorpion is enough to pick up the interesting that the main characters lack. The villain, holy crap, Gen 1 T-Rex was cool. This show has been reincarnated so many times, and even if just to sell toys, they still tell great and amazing stories. Except for the generation that shall not be named. And if all you bronies out there are watching this and wondering how you can get people to realize that the show you're watching isn't a little girl's cartoon, show them these.
Fluttershy? You aren't his family! You're best friends!
Have them watch these clips, then have them look you straight in the eye and dare them to tell you that it's a little girl's show. And if I had a mic, this would be where I drop it.
Somewhere there's a little piece of rainbow. I saved it for a rainy day. It's either underneath the rug or in the cupboard. Ugh, but have no fear, I'll find it right away. Wait until you see this piece of rainbow. It's brighter than a peacock's plume. It's ocean blue and sunrise pink. I left it by the sink, I think. Or was it in the closet with the broom? Perhaps we ought to try the other room. That piece of rainbow must be hiding someplace. Search every nook and cranny, high and low.
might be some trace, but not a gleam. Not a glimmer. Not a glow.
Oh, where'd I put that little piece of rainbow?